Welcome back to the Payback predictions. We're on part 5 here. King Barrett versus Neville. These two have been feuding with each other quite a bit as of late, and since Payback is just rematch after rematch after rematch, look at that. We're getting a rematch. Surprised?
Yay.
So, Neville came up short during the King of the Ring tournament, but he beat Barrett at, what was it, Extreme Rules? Is that the last pay-per-view? Yeah. So, there's kind of a 50-50 back and forth between them. This is sort of the rubber match, but they've had some more matches, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember exactly how those went down. I'm still assuming that King Barrett's going to win this year, and I think that part of the reason why is because it makes more sense for the King of the Ring to win than anybody else, but he'll probably win by cheating more than anything. Neville's doing a really good job as of late. They're keeping him strong. You know, he had his match with John Cena where he won it technically by disqualification, but you know, he was potentially going to win the U.S. title there. So even if Neville loses here, I think he's rock solid for the future and possibly runner-up choice for the Intercontinental title. I still think Sheamus is going to win it, but we'll get more to that into the predictions when we just start doing Elimination Chamber and stuff. But for now, King Barrett versus Neville, what do you guys think about this match? You excited for it? Think who's going to win, etc.?
You should go to Payden first, because if anyone knows about Ring Kings, it's him.
Indeed. Well, I am actually going to be going with Neville on this one. I think he's been getting a lot of losses, which is fine, but I think it is time for him to get a big win. Just throw the guy a bone with a big win. Wade Barrett really doesn't lose much losing this match. It looks good for Neville to beat the King, because Barrett just got this, you can't call it a title, but whatever it is.
Beat the King.
It's good to beat the King. It looks good on your record. And I think Barrett can sustain the loss, because I think in the long run, Barrett is going to be the guy to go on and win that Intercontinental title. And he'll get his win back with that. You know, he could even have Neville be the last guy he pins in that, and then that could be the first feud for the title. And these guys continue this going, because I like this feud.
Do you think they'll double up on King Barrett instead of just giving it to somebody like Sheamus on the side?
I think Barrett is getting a big push this summer.
I hope so.
He's past due. The guy's in the best shape of his career.
Them abs.
I think it's time. Let's see what Barrett's got in the tank.
Well, hopefully he can stay uninjured this time.
Well, let's see.
Hey, we better knock on wood now, because fuck.
That'd be some pretty bad news.
Win, lose, either way, Team Sean is at it again.
That
Yeah,
getting
but
5
he's
points
Why
good
is
for
it
you.
my top two guys always fight each other? It's beyond. But I'm gonna go with Neville on this one, for the same reasons why Payden have said, because he deserves a big win. After what I watched on Raw last week, it was pretty good. Long may it continue with this win over Barrett, and then he's gonna go on to bigger and brighter things.
Yeah, I think
Barrett
it's
can
best
take the
for him
loss.
to pick up this win against King Barrett now. And it should be a great match. I mean, their match at Extreme Rules was great, so there should be another repeat of that. And I think Payton hit this one right on the nail in the coffin. Doesn't it suck when the first person to go says everything you want to say for the most part, which is what Payton did? So
That's why you should
for
go
me.
first.
that's what I've
why
done
are
it before.
Why are you nailing coffins?
Yeah, I was just going to say, nobody's going to mention he hit the nail on the head on the coffin.
Oh, there I did.
But yeah, there you go. I think Neville will get the win, and Barrett will get that push that everyone wants him to get until he gets injured again this summer. So I can't wait for that.
I think Barrett's going to take this one. And the reason I say that is because I think in WWE's mind, the hardcore fans are fans of him enough that they can have Neville take the loss and it won't hurt them. You know, the NXT crowd that's familiar with Neville's still going to cheer for him. He's still going to put on a good match. It's not going to kill him if he loses this matchup. Barrett right now is on a roll, having come off of that really long stint as a losing Intercontinental Champion. They're trying to rehab him, and I think at this point he really needs... He can't have any losses. They really need to keep him as strong as they can if they are planning on doing something with him and building him up to something a little bit more tangible. So I think it's going to be a good match. I think Neville's going to put in a 4-star performance, but Barrett's taking this one.
So you don't think you'll give it 5-star?
He's working with Barrett. I wouldn't say Barrett's a 5-star worker. I would say 4-star. Barrett kind of brings it down a little bit.
So you're not going to give him a shot?
No, I'm not going to give Neville a shot in that regard.
Oh, come on. You gave Kane a shot, but you won't give Neville a shot? Fucking hell.
Well, Mike didn't steal what I was going to say, but Tony and Miguel did. So basically, I kind of feel the same way as they said. I think King Barrett's going to pick up the win on this one. I think he needs it more right now. Neville's hot, win or lose. And so I think he can afford the loss on that one. He's going to look good. It's going to be a good match. I think Neville will come out looking, even better than he already does. But I don't think he needs it. I think they're trying to book Neville right now to be in that underdog position. Not quite like a Daniel Bryan like they were doing with him, but kind of like, they want to have him hungry for those wins. So it's okay if he loses, a bunch in a row, because the fans are still going to be behind him. He's still going to put on killer matches. But I think right now the momentum's behind King Barrett, so that's who I'm putting my money on.
Way to go, split decision. Who you picking?
Gun to my head, I'm going with Wade Barrett.
Woo!
I think that Adrian Neville probably deserves it, but I don't think he needs it. He's not going to bloom until like fucking 5 or 10 years from now anyway. He's going to be in the company a long time before he gets his fair shake, so get used to it. He's going to be another guy that just struggles along the roster. Daniel Bryan had to struggle, and so will he.
You think it would take 10 years?
Could. A lot of guys, it took 10 years.
I'm expecting Neville to be mid-card champion this time next year.
Well, mid-card, of course, but I mean, like, for him to be, like, really elevated.
Oh, yeah, if he's, like, one of the top 3 names or something like that, that'll take a while. I thought you were just talking about, like,
as far
really
as the
getting a
mid-card
solid
title,
thing.
I'd give it to him, if not next year, the year after. Mm-hmm. So, the guy, like, doesn't need a major push, and you can keep him... You can have him lose plenty of times as long as he looks competitive.
You know what's going to get in his way, I think?
His fucking ears.
His bloody cape.
I don't think I'd be able to buy him as a heel.
He hasn't got a moveset to be a heel.
Like, most people, they tend to struggle a little bit, and they'll usually go back and forth. You'll do a babyface character, that gets a little boring, you turn heel, it gets more exciting, then you turn back to babyface, and that's when you get over and stuff. The Rock did it, and of course Austin, became popular after his heel thing and everything like that. Neville, I don't know. I mean, he could totally avoid it. There's some people that don't need to do that. Rey Mysterio never needed to turn heel, but then again, Rey Mysterio had a mask. Neville's
Dude, how long
has
has John Cena been faithful? Get in the end.
Yeah, but he's not getting the reaction that they want either.
Roman Reigns, how long has he been faithful?
A year and a month?
Not a year yet. It was June when they split, right? Oh no, yeah, I guess they did turn face first.
No, Extreme Rules, I think.
For Neville to be a successful heel, all he needs to do is align himself with some shitty people, have a guy be his manager and tell the world how fucking much he hates them, and bada bing, bada boom. Here's this ultra-talented guy that hates you that's defeating all your heroes with flashy, amazing moves.
I think it's going to be a long, long process to turn Neville heel. Right now he doesn't have anything going for him. He doesn't look really threatening. He's not a monster like Kane or the Big Show. Unless he gets somebody to talk for him, and in this day and age they don't really do mouthpieces and managers, he's going to be a very bland heel if he does turn heel. I don't see him stepping above everything else and kind of really carving his own niche in terms of being a heel.
I don't know about that. Seth Rollins isn't exactly 7'2" now, is he? Let's be honest.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but but here's the thing: he's a part of a bigger story arc. He's got the whole authority behind him. He's playing the chicken shit heel with the power behind, hiding behind the powers that be.
And he's better.
I could see Neville doing that. Wow.
I don't, unless he gets honestly, I can only see it if they pair him up with 2 big guys as his bodyguards. Then maybe I can see that.
I'll pair him up with Paul Heyman.
Yeah, because that always fucking works out.
Yeah.
Cesaro, Ryback, Curtis Axel. So let's see. We've got a bunch of people for Neville, a bunch of people for Barrett. That'll be interesting to see what happens there. But I think we're all kind of on board with the same idea that this should at least be a very entertaining match, and that we like both these guys.
This could be match of the night.
It very much could be.
It's going to be a match.
It'll be a match. All right, guys. Part 6, we're going to talk about Ryback and Bray Wyatt.